Honestly, most creators or business owners never turn their expertise into income. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack system. Honestly, without structure, focus, and consistency, your daily work will suffer. It doesn't really matter how motivated you are and how much you know. It is about the daily systems. And in this video, I will show you the exact system I use to stay in flow, reduce mental clutter, and get highly leveraged work done every single day, and honestly without burnout, because I just work 4 hours a day. And honestly, if I knew this before, or if I started this business earlier, I wouldn't have made the mistake I've done in the past company, where we lost 300,000 our first year of business. I mean, we earned 300,000 and also kind of like lost 300,000 in some ways, or investments, how we call it nowadays. We are going to cover Kortex, my entire Kortex system, and the Kortex systems afterwards will be transformed in my Notion system, these are the videos I'm recording right now. This one is done. This one is I'm recording right now, and this is the one which I'm recording right after. So I always do a batch production. So how does this actually work? We are starting inside of this Kortex system, and also everything is inside the 7-day Chaos to Clarity challenge if you want to build and start your own business. And this is the reason also I call it this Chaos to Clarity method. And also in these 7 days, I guide you to more clarity, less chaos, higher productivity, fewer work hours, as I do with 4 hours, and the foundation of your second brain business. Honestly, there's no bullshit, just pure value for 7 days. So if you want, instead of like watching the videos, read this stuff, get a bit more into the universe which I created, which I call Jeff's mind universe here, which is this everything from the top to the bottom, the human adventure, the universe thinker, the second brain business, the chaos to clarity method. Everything is inside explained there. You get all of the templates you need for starting a business, and you also get all of the AI prompts, which honestly helped me a lot in the last couple of months, or actually weeks, because I injured my arm. So that's the reason I always need to use this stuff, because yeah, I had a bit of too much tendon. And yeah, everything is inside the challenge. And this is also the entire explanation. So I've done a dedicated video to explain the system, which I will not fully cover in this video, which is up there. And this is how it actually works. And I think if I'm going too much into this, the video might be a bit too long, but I try to narrow it down as the most important steps. So I have a specific structure system, which is life mastery, business mastery, productivity mastery, and mind mastery. And everything is colored on every specific device. Is it Notion? Is it, okay, I don't use Obsidian, I use Cortex, or iCloud, or Windows. Everything is connected with these colors and emojis. And then also the color hierarchy is red, orange, yellow. Red is always the highest, because it makes sense because of the colors. And then we also have the highest topic category is red, which is one of these 4. Then we have the parent, which is a subcategory, and you can see everything inside here is red. Then we have the subcategory, which is orange, which is here, with yellow is the one underneath. So for example, we're going into flow mastery. We have life in flow, or live in flow. And yeah, everything which doesn't have a color is not finished yet. So I know, okay, this is something which will be done later, because I don't have the time, for example, to do anything which doesn't really bring my business forward in particular ways, or I do it when I have the time. And then everything is also built on the project areas, resource and archive based by Tiago Forte. So we have projects, areas, resource and archive. Projects in short is for short project, like the 90-day challenge, which I have, which is like 3 months towards your goals. And then you have, for example, a 90-day project, but it has an end in mind. For example, areas is something which never has an end in mind. Knowledge is infinite, so the mastery nodes is infinite. It will never have it will never be finished. It's an infinite goal. Then I have the writing. I will always write for the rest of my life, probably, because it helps me a lot with clarity and understanding myself and business and everything in the entire world. Same with reading. Then I have the resources. In this particular way, it is, for example, templates. Templates in terms of like Dan templates, writing templates, prompt templates for AI, and everything connected to text. But for example, in the Windows or iCloud version, it is connected to graphics, images, book notes, whatever. but something we don't need to for work, because everything what I need for work is inside areas and projects. And this is also how everything is organized in Kortex. And if you want to understand how Kortex works or how a second brain works, in short, we create a lot of connections. That's also why I'm calling it the universe thinker, because it's made out of multidimensional writing, thinking, and intelligence. Because intelligence is not like one specific narrow task, it is an interconnection between various different topics. Because just thinking as a specialist will not master your life. That's the same why AI is so useful for a lot of people, because we are actually generalists, as Dan often talks in his videos, if you know Dan Co. And also, like, we want to specialize. We don't want to specialize. We want to be a generalist, and AI, ChatGPT, will be a specialist. And this is also why AI is, for a lot of people who don't have the money to hire people, a really good option to save a lot of money and get way more work done in a short period of time. So this is, for example, my second brain. All my knowledge is inside there. Also the library of my books. I've written, because I haven't read any book so far, but I will. And yeah, everything is inside this, just my universe. This is actually my business. And then the areas, for example, the mastery nodes is the knowledge I have. So for example, it's a universe mastery, self-mastery, reality mastery. And then these things are not organized yet. Then we have love mastery, relationship mastery, man mastery, happiness mastery, health mastery. All of this is interconnected with here, and also the stuff which I need for business is inside of here. So there's like an interconnection in between, and this interconnection is connected in these nodes and yellow, what I'm saying yellow, with these blue connections. Everything is inside of this challenge here. Every information you will be provided in a challenge. And then yeah, if I'm, for example, writing inside of the mastery nodes, I always try to make connections to other topics. So for example, if I'm writing something like here, I can click on any particular blue connections, and then I know, okay, this is something which makes sense for this particular way, because sometimes you forget something, and then you can just read it again in your second brain. So after that, after my 1 or 2 hours of writing every single morning, I transition into Notion. Notion is there for YouTube, mainly task management, and like specific other things. So you can also do everything you do in Kortex in Notion actually, but honestly, I prefer Kortex way more than writing in Notion. So for example, Notion is really more for project management, YouTube content, task system, projects, etc. So for example, this is all my future content, or maybe not. Who knows what will be published in the next weeks. Yeah, there's also some, for example, the YouTube script database. For example, there's always a hook to a connected video. Then we have authority, so explaining who I am actually, then a call to action to anything, and then the main topic, and then maybe another call to action at the end, so people understand what my business is actually about. And yeah, so this entire Notion template, you can rebuild it. There's a video where I go over the entire system, or you can just purchase the template in the link below. So I took a long time to build it actually. And yeah, this is my universe outside of Kortex for videos. Then, for example, I have the project, as you mentioned before, with the P.A.R.A method, project areas, research and archive. We have a quick access, we have a quick capture, quick task capture, or quick video capture. And everything, my entire knowledge will be produced into videos, into YouTube videos. And actually this template is mainly for YouTube videos and my projects and task, a daily tracker. And this is also different. So I use actually only Kortex and Notion, and what Kortex doesn't have, Notion have, and what Notion is not good at, Kortex actually is good at. Kind of like the connection between it. And yeah, so for example, 90-day challenges are always on the side, like my monthly work task. Then we have the flowing project and task system, which is like my weekly stuff I need to get done. On the bottom is the content system. Yeah, this is also for like just managing my business, staying up to date, like what is my daily tracker, for example, what are tasks I need to do, how many work hours did I work. Sometimes I just work 4 hours, on some days I work 10 hours, sometimes I suffer from an injury, which I'm doing right now. Then I work mostly only 4 hours or 6, or depends really how motivated I am. What I always try to do is like minimum working 4 hours every single day. And if possible, I work 6 hours. And this is actually like my sweet spot is 6 hours maximum. And 8 to 10 is like if I really need to get some stuff done. It will always be more, and kind of like an early waker. So I always wake up between 5. And then sometimes there's exceptions. I wake up a bit after 6 or something if I had a really bad sleep or something. Yeah. And this is actually everything is inside of this challenge. And I think what is really interesting for you in this particular way is how I create my YouTube videos, because they're quite simple, because otherwise you can't manage everything by yourself. So my thumbnails are a mixture between ChatGPT and Photoshop. So I combine both. I create some ideas with ChatGPT and then optimize them in Photoshop, or I create them by myself with Photoshop. And the YouTube system is also pretty simple. As I mentioned before, I always have these stuff and everything is kind of like similarly built. So because I know these hooks might perform better than just talking to camera or just reading my newsletters, because my newsletters are getting really, really deep, but YouTube does not really grasp the algorithm suitable for that. And yeah, this is actually my entire system, how it works. If you want to get into a bit more deeper explanations, there's separate videos for that, which you can find on my channel. But yeah, this is actually my entire system I use every single day, how I get my work done, how I try to stay at 4 hours of work, and also how I actually monetize my business, because everything I know is starting at Kortex, my knowledge, my information, my writing. And from there on, I just contribute this on YouTube and Threads over my my Notion system. And that's how I productize my knowledge, monetize my knowledge. And this is the video, what the video is about. And you can see here sometimes I do these connections. Yep. I hope this video helps. And I hope you can maybe take some good things out of you. Yeah. Most of the information, my entire business system is inside of the Chaos to Clarity Challenge, which will be then transformed into the 90-day challenge, which is for free entirely for 90 days. Or you can join the Cohort, which is a paid version. Yeah, whatever you want to do, feel free to join, feel free to not join. And yeah, see you guys in my next video. Bye.